Okay? What kind of plan do you need? Well, first of all, you need to know how to get out of the building you're in. I do a lot of teaching. I teach in a lot of businesses, and I go from business to business and business and business. I'm an emergency preparedness guy. If you didn't know that for sure, that's, okay. And so, it's true, I teach my classes that I usually don't walk into any building unless I know the ways to get out. So as I go through the front door, I'm walking to wherever the conference room, and some of these places I go to, it's like down this hall, and make a right, and then you go down to that hall, and you make a right, and you go up those stairs, and you go over. I was at the 3M building in Irvine the other day, and I'm not kidding you. It was like, I figured by the time I got to where I was going to teach, there should have been some cheese. Because that maze, and literally, the farther we walk in, and the more, and she's going, and I'm looking around, and she's going, what are you looking for? We're going to come this way. I'm looking for a way to get out of here. And she says, why? I said, because I don't work here, man. Something goes wrong. I want to get out of here. So you need to have a plan. I do this, I'm not kidding you, I do this with almost every building I walk into, knowing at least 2 ways to get out. You need to know the buildings that you work in, live in, that kind of thing. You need to know at least 2 safe ways for you to get out of the building. Why 2? At least 2? Well, what if there's a fire in your house, and the fire's at your front door, and the front door was the way you were planning on getting out? If you haven't thought about that in advance of another way you're going to get out, that's going to take you that much longer to do that. Okay? So what can you take with you? There's some suggestions. 72-hour kit, right? We've taken all of our pictures. My wife has dutifully put them all into albums. A computer backup. Have you made a backup of your computer? Do you have those disks? If you leave your house and you are gone, are you going to miss the information that's on your computer if it should be burnt up, crushed, stolen? Records, dental records, who goes where, Social Security cards, those kind of things, and other important documents, insurance, wills, those kind of things that you need to have. You need to make a list, a priority list of, if I only have 1 minute, this is what I'm taking with me. If I have 10 minutes, this is what I'm taking with me. If I have an infinite amount of time or space, these are the things that I can. So it's kind of a priority list of what you want to take with you. Better than that, have a 72-hour kit that has a copy of all your important records and a backup disk of your computer. So if that's all you grab is your 72-hour kit, at least you have something to rely on. So how are you going to transport your stuff? Okay, you have to leave. How are you leaving? Are you leaving by car, plane, train, automobile? How are you getting out of there? If you have planned to take, a industrial carload worth of stuff with you, and you fill up your car, I don't know if you saw pictures from the people in San Diego, they literally stuff every little nook and cranny of their car with things, and it's like, they roll down the window to stuff the kid in, kind of scenario. But do you have enough room to take all the stuff that you want to take? Does your stuff fit in your bike, or in your car or truck, or what you want to take it with you? It would be great to make a list of things you want to take with you, and then you get out in your car and go, I can't pack it. That would be a bad time to figure that out. Okay? What if you don't have a car available to you? Let's say your car is parked in your garage, and your plan is to take these big plastic Rubbermaid totes. Those are great to carry stuff in. And then you go out and you've got no car to transport it in. Are you going to be able to carry those totes? You're going to be able to carry them about a block, and then you're going to go, all right, don't need that, don't need that. Start, having a lawn sale right there on the corner of all your stuff. So what are you going to take? Are you going to be able to transport it? That's an important part. Do you have a bicycle? Are you walking? Or are you having a cart of some sort to pull it with, to put that stuff on? A wheeled cart of some sort that you can take and pull it, and carry your stuff with you. Who needs to know about your plan? Remember I told you about taking the plan and sticking it under your mattress and not sharing it with anybody? Well, who is your plan going to impact? If you're good enough to have really good neighbors, I would share that plan with my neighbors. In the event of a traumatic environment, I tell you that my plan is I'm going to go to my church. That's where I will be. And so if your friends have been looking for you for a period of time, they will know where you are, or at least have phone numbers where you're going to be, or those kind of things, so your neighbors can keep track of you. And then if you do that and feel good about that, ask them for their information. I mean, if we're looking after our neighbors and they are our friends, and there's an earthquake or whatever, and you come back and your friends are not there, rather than wondering for day after day where they are, you can contact their grandmother in Ohio and say, hi, I'm looking for Scott and Steve, or where are they? They're home, they're safe, they went to Temecula or somewhere like that. So those are the kinds of people you want to share that plans with, your relatives and others like that. The more, in my never to be humble opinion, the more people who know your plan and the generalities of your plan, the better off you will be. Because they can help you with your plan. And I don't necessarily mean implementing it, but they can be part of your network of preparedness. And so if you share that information with them, like I was telling you in the beginning of the 6 or so families that we shared it with, they're part of my big plan. So I know where their children are going to be. I know what their plan is. And so if I'm separated from my family, and I got nowhere, my family is somewhere else, and I can't get to them, I will know where one of them will be. They're going to be at so-and-so's house, and I have that address, and I have that phone number, and I go, can I come over there too? And they say, sure, come on over. And so then I have a place to go rather than some refugee camp or some place that would be unfriendly to me. At least I would have some kind of friend like that. And also, that is a great chain of a network chain. If you have multiple friends and you have a larger group of people with whom you can network with to help in that if there are communication problems and getting information from one place to another. Where are you going to go? This is not like the sanitation of where you're going to go in that form. This means physically where you're going to go. You need to have an outline of your house, a sketch of your house, and talk about the evacuation plans, and talk about with your spouse, with your children, with where you're going to show up. In other words, in my situation, my children all know if there is a fire or something that goes wrong in our apartment complex, there's a little bank, or it used to be a bank, it's now a Buddhist temple, parking lot. That's where we're going to meet. That is our first place to meet. So if there is a fire or anything else, they are far enough away that they are not going to be injured or caught in the fray. They're off of a ways away from our property. So you want to have some place as a rallying point that's close by, you can get to quickly, but not too far away. But you also want to have a secondary fallback position of what if they're not at home, or what if they go to that area and it's unsafe, or whatever else. They need to have some other place to go. In our family's fallback position, it's from our house to the Thompson's house, and then to the church. And so then it's kind of almost a step-stair order. Your mileage may vary. What your place, where your rally points are going to be, depend upon where you live, what friends you have around, what your neighborhood is, but you need to have an area. Also, if I wouldn't be at home and I show up after an earthquake, I travel great distances. There's some kind of malady, I show up to my house, my family's not there. I know when to start checking. First place I go check is the Thompson's house. I go there's nobody there. Then I come to this building. And so I have a logical search, as it were, for my family.